Welcome everybody to Samsung AAP and Promotional Opportunities with Galaxy Apps webinar. We will be starting shortly. I just want to give you a few items, housekeeping items to take into consideration. If you have any questions during the presentation, please post them in the Q&A box. You will see it in your dashboard, and we will be answering those at the end of the presentation. If you have any technical issue, you cannot see the slides, you cannot hear us, please also post the issue in the Q&A box, and we have a person helping us address those issues. This session is being recorded, and it will be shared. We will share in everything, the presentation and a video of the session in our Samsung developer website. And at the end of the presentation, you will get a short survey where you can answer, and we appreciate all the feedback that you can have. And if you have any comments, please let us know. This is to help us ensure that we improve the webinars and get to hear your feedback of what you need to learn from us. Okay, so a couple of more minutes while we wait for more people to join. In the meanwhile, I would like to do a quick pulse check. So basically, from the audience, the people that have joined, please let us know if you have heard about Galaxy Apps before. You will see a thumbs up, thumbs down on your screen. Okay, so most of you have heard about Galaxy Apps. That's good. I hope to give you a little more of details about how Galaxy Apps is doing in the market, and also what Samsung in-app purchases will allow you to do in your application. Okay, so let's get started. My name is Gaby Rojas. I'm part of Samsung Developer Program team here in Samsung Electronics American Content and Services Division. This is a webinar session for Samsung in-app purchases and promotional opportunities with Galaxy Apps. I want to highlight that this session specifically is for Samsung in-app purchases for Android mobile developers. In-app purchases supports other platforms, but this specifically is mostly for Android developers. How can we help you? So as I mentioned, as part of the developer program team, my team is the dev support team. We are based in Mountain View, California, and we are here to support you and your projects if you are integrating in-app purchases, if you are integrating other of the Samsung Galaxy SDKs, touch panel, if you are planning to develop a gear application with our sites and wearables SDKs, or create watch faces for the smartwatches, or even themes for the mobile phones. We are here to support any kind of technical issue that you run into in your development process. Also, when you are ready to submit your applications in the Galaxy App Store, we are here to support you through the process, the certification, requesting your seller status. Also, our team can help you with that. And if you are interested in promotion opportunities, we're going to talk more about it. You can also contact us and make a promotion request to us, so our editorial team can review and provide feedback. We recommend you to register to the Samsung Developer Program. It's free. We have a few different services that you can take advantage that are beneficial for your application development. You'll see the links there. You also have a small widget in your dashboard on the bottom right corner that is called Resources. So you should be able to see all the links that we're going to be presenting, and you can click and start taking a look into the information. If you have any feedback in general, please free to contact me. That's my Samsung email, gg.rojas@samsung.com, and we can start talking. In terms of the webinars, we have presented a few already. The past webinars were mostly focused on geared applications, watch faces, and web apps. For this session, we are covering Samsung in-app purchases for Android mobile publishers and the promotional opportunities with our store, Galaxy Apps. The upcoming session will be themes. That's a theme for Android devices. It's an overview of how is the theme market performing in Samsung devices, and also how to get access to the theme editor and how to use the theme editor tool. this webinar. It will be February 23rd, so 2 weeks from now. So before we get started, I know most of you have heard about Galaxia, but I want to show you a quick video of what's the experience in a mobile phone in case you haven't seen it. Just a quick overview of how it looks. So you're going to start seeing a video shortly. Okay, so that's the icon of Galaxy app. You tap on it, and the first thing you'll see is called Staff Picks. So these Staff Picks is basically where we have all the applications that we promote. The editorial team manages all the content that is being merchandised. It's weekly review. They take a look at how they perform each application. I usually get questions about what's the store optimization, how can I be on top of that Staff Picks. Basically, this is a manual process. We have a team that actually looks into every single application. From the Staff Picks, in one banner, you can select what banner, a single application, or you can have content applications. So a banner can have a full content set where you have different applications altogether. We also have themes. You can access the theme store through the Staff Picks. And also, we have different categories. We have an exclusive category where you can have all the kind of special content for Samsung. We have our Made for Samsung. We have also Edge panel applications specifically for devices that have the Edge, like the S7 Edge. We also have a top category where you can see the top apps, either free or paid. And, well, there's different all kind of applications where you can look around. We also have per categories, the most common ones. You have gaming, social, and communication. You can also access from there the themes store that I was mentioning before, where you can download all the different themes to customize your phone or wallpapers, icons. And also, we have the Gear applications that are specific for Gear S2, S3 devices. You can download directly from there or browse the content. So this is just a quick view of how it looks. The product detail page of the Gear applications is very similar to how the regular Android mobile phone applications look. So just this is a quick overview of the store. So let's talk a bit about how Galaxy apps is viewing the market. Usually, our developers, our partners, people we have worked with, they tell us that Samsung devices are the most popular devices for them, that most of the users are in Samsung devices. They see this in around 50 to 60% of their users have a Samsung device. So Galaxy apps can be that extra channel to provide very exclusive content for them that is taking advantage of the Galaxy Samsung devices. So right now, Galaxy apps, this is from 2016 data, monthly active users globally. Galaxy apps is preloaded in most devices, I would say almost everything of the Samsung phones globally. We have 202 million monthly active users with total unique visitors also globally of 360 million, with monthly downloads globally as well of 131 million. So it's growing. It's a very active ecosystem. Just in 2016, we had 1.5 billion downloads globally. And in terms of the US, well, in 2016 as well, 23 monthly active users with total unique visitors of 83 million users in the US, and with monthly downloads of 11 million. App downloads, the total app downloads in 2016 in the US was 120 million. So another quick pulse check before we continue reviewing the numbers. Do you have already an app published in either Galaxy apps or any other of the stores around in the Android ecosystem? So mostly half and half. Some of you have an application, so now we're getting, the majority doesn't have an app published. So Galaxy app could be a very good channel to get started. So let me tell you a little bit how we have been improving the store. We have this strategy, as I mentioned, of having very manually curated content. So we saw from 2015 to 2016 that our users have 3.4 better engagement. They are also monetizing 3.2 times better than in 2015, and 4% better on average of spending per a paid user compared to the previous year. So they're getting engaged, they come, they see that we have quality content, they like it, they continue playing, they continue to download applications. So that's pretty good. That's what we want to give users, not only a huge amount of applications that you cannot find what will be the right content for you or for your device, but also we want to provide this better experience when we give the content that they really need and that will perform in their devices. Top markets in terms of revenue for Galaxy apps, number 1 is USA, number 2 Korea, also very strong, and number 3, and I could say number 4 is Europe, leading Germany in this case. So you already saw in the video staff picks, that is the main merchandising part of the store where our editorial team places applications there and make sure they're weekly rotated or optimized according to what our users want. So first thing to mention about staff picks, we feature only apps that are differentiated, either co-developed or optimized. They are unique or contribute to revenue and traffic. So every week we check the performance of the applications that are in staff picks. We see how they're performing. If we make adjustments of how it should go up or down in the banner list. We want very optimized content for the devices that takes advantage of the SDKs that we have out there. Samsung AP integration is required for all apps that perform in-app transactions. So if you want to be in staff picks and you have in-app items for sale in your application, you need to integrate Samsung IAP. We also require our partners and our developers to submit their application to Galaxy apps with a different package name or a different signing key than the one they use in other stores. Staff picks features individually designed one app and category banners. So as you saw in the video, when you click on one of the banners, it can take you directly to the product detail page of that application, or we have a full category, right? It can be, like you will see in the picture, made for Samsung. You will have a list of different applications related to that content set. An editorial team merchandises the store weekly, as I mentioned before. We refresh content, they review the performance, they review the revenue, how is it performing, if there's a special event that is coming. For example, you see in this screenshot the Super Bowl. Well, we try to promote content that is related to those specific events. Now let's talk a little bit more about Samsung in-app purchase, the actual integration with us. Revenue share, the standard is 70-30%, but this can be negotiable for partners that have exclusive content. It can be reviewed and a different agreement can be set in place. Samsung in-app purchases is integrated with Samsung Billing, which supports different payment methods, including credit card, phone billing, carrier billing. We also have PayPal, and the different payment methods will be varying according to the country you are located. In total, we have 90 countries. In order for a user to make a payment, they need to have Samsung account, which is like any other account. You register there an email, and then you can add your credit card. And basically, we have 3.6 million registered cards globally in our Samsung accounts. 36% of those registered cards come from the US. And now you can see we have different type of items that Samsung in-app purchase supports. They are very similar from what other billing systems are already supporting. You have your consumables that you can buy as many as you want, the coins, the hearts. Mostly this is used by game developers that they want to sell a pack of 10 coins or buy extra lives. We also have non-consumable items. You buy once and remains effective for the for the whole period of time, like removing advertising from an application. We have a non-recurring subscription supporting 1, 3, 6, and 12 months. So this can be a very specific app feature that you want to subscribe for a limited time, and then it's over. And we also have auto-recurring subscription. We offer right now a monthly cycle. Every month, the user will get charged automatically. And we offer also free trials of 30, 60, and 90 days. This is ideal for those applications that have newsletters or newspaper, magazine that you want to show content in a monthly basis and keep the users engaged and paying for that kind of content. So in terms of development, let's start talking about the integration alternatives. We have a regular Android SDK that you can download from our developer.samsung website. It contains an AIDL library with a helper class. It's very straightforward. We're going to review the APIs in a second from this SDK. And you can also do some customization of with the helper class according to your needs. We also are integrated in Unity service in-app purchases native API. So if you are a Unity game developer and you are using Unity services, Galaxy app is already supported that. So you can have a very straightforward integration if you already have Unity services in your game. And if for some reason you are a Unity developer but still haven't been using Unity services, we also have a Unity plugin that is based on OpenIIB Unity plugin, all open source. You can just download our specific version that actually supports Samsung in-app purchase SDK, the latest version, which is 4.0.1. So plenty of options. If you have any questions about which one should I integrate or even the integration process with them, feel free to contact us and we will be happy to help. So as I mentioned, let's quickly review the different AAP calls. It's very standard from what you've seen in other building systems. So basically, you declare a permission in your manifest that will allow the Samsung in-app purchase to work. Then, this is very important. You need to instantiate the helper object of the Samsung in-app purchase helper class. By this, you need to define AIP mode. And I think this is one of the main differences with other building systems. In in-app purchases, we have a mode that it can be commercial. That mode is when you want to go live in the store, you need to set your APK to commercial mode to do real transactions, what users will be doing in the real life scenario. But while you're doing your development, you can set that mode to test. And for test, we have two different variants, test success or test failure. And basically, all the transactions that you do are going to be test. They don't reach the payment gateway, so there's no charge incurred in your credit card. And it's just to help you in the development process. The UI flow is very, very similar between test and commercial mode. You might only see in test mode a small pop-up saying that this is a test mode, but besides that, you will see the overall flow. We will review the flow in a little bit. So it's important to keep this in mind. With the partners I usually work, I let them know, don't forget to change the mode to commercial before you submit for certification, before you are ready to go live. Because if you don't do it, then you have your application out there in a test mode and you're not monetizing. So we have an API for get item list. Basically, you want to know what items are available for sale. Your items are already registered in our seller office. That is our dashboard. We will cover that in a few slides. And you receive an item bio object. We will have all the information about the item that is being registered. In this case, for example, it's a consumable. You have the price, you know the currency code, and you can manage that in your application to do the processing yourself of what items. Maybe you have 100 items registered in seller office, but you only want to show to the user 10 according to your promotions. If you want to start a purchase, well, we have an API that is called Start Payment ID. Basically, once you start the purchase and it goes successfully, you will receive a purchase bio object. The most important thing about this purchase object is that it gives you a purchase ID. So we will see why the purchase ID is so important. It's this unique identifier for each purchase. You also have all the information about the item that you just bought. And then Once you have the purchase ID, you can do a server-to-server verification to ensure that the transaction was valid. So you can use that purchase ID to check with our server. The server will return you a response saying, yes, this is a valid transaction. Here is the status is true. That's what it makes it valid. Payment method, in this case, for example, I use PayPal, and the mode is real. You can get also this verification response if you are in test mode, and you will see the mode change to test. And another API that get items already purchased by the user. So you can also get, based on what the purchase history of the user is, a full list of all the items that they have acquired before. One important thing to highlight, and a very common question that we get, is people ask us if we have a consumable API. At this point, we don't have one. The consuming of the items has to be managed by your application. But, I mean, we're listening to feedback. If you think there's anything else that we should have, or that's how to improve our SDK, we'll be happy to hear it so we can incorporate it in our future updates. So one part is integrating the SDK in your application. The other part is basically how do I manage my items, right? So we have what is called Seller Office. In Seller Office is your regular dashboard where you will be registering your application, managing your updates, selecting the devices that you support, the countries that you support. And we have a section for in-app purchase. You can register there all your items, right, of the different types. You can also manage the price point. So let me show you the next one. As we mentioned, we support a lot of countries with different payment methods. So once you set a standard price, then that price will be converted to the different currencies, and you will see all the prices. You can modify the prices manually and select a specific price for a different country. So in the US, it costs $3, and I want it in Mexico to cost 100 pesos, then you can do it. You can modify it that way. Also in this portal, you can see the supported payment methods per country. We support item bulk upload, so you can upload a number of different items in a spreadsheet, and the system will import them. And this is the main area where you can manage all your items, register new ones, remove older ones, or just change the price of the existing ones. So a little bit of the UI flow. Basically, at this point, we're showing how one of our partners have integrated the in-app purchase SDK. They have 4 different items. They display to the users in their own UI saying we have 10 coins for 99 cents, or 50 coins for $3.99, 150 coins for 320. Then the user selects which one they want, and you get you see all these pop-up showing a purchase, right? Tells you 10 coins, it's going to cost you 99 cents. It gives you 2 options. You have PayPal or credit card. In this case, I already have a registered credit card. And then you can select, yes, I want to buy it. You get a confirmation message, and that's it. The purchase is completed. The user gets a receipt of their purchase. Just one thing to clarify about this scenario is, in this one, I'm already logged into my Samsung account. But if you are not already logged in, it's before the purchase pop-up, it's just going to ask you, please introduce your Samsung account. Or in that moment, you say, please create a Samsung account, which is the very standard process for just register an account, an email, a password, and you are done. Okay, before we continue talking about publishing in Galaxy Apps, I want to do another pulse check. Basically, are you planning to publish your application in the US only, or you're thinking more of a global? So if you can give us thumbs up, thumbs down. If you're thumbs up if you're going globally, thumbs down if it's only US. And we'll see. The reason we ask these questions is because sometimes we have developers very focused on the US, but supporting other countries, it's not that difficult. We have all the tools to make it happen. So expanding the market, the application to different markets is always an option. So we have mostly the users considering just the USA first. which is fine. I mean, you can give it a try and see how it performs and then just expand to other markets and devices. So let's talk a little bit more about what does it take to publish an app in Galaxy Apps. For example, you went through, we talk about the opportunity, we have all these users, we have this incredible amount of different devices, Galaxy devices. You integrated the SDK, you have a great game or an application, and now you are ready to publish in Galaxy Apps. So these are 4 basic steps to get started. First thing, you need to register in Seller Office as a developer. Make sure you input your account and you can select either developer or have a partnership with Samsung. There's a partner option, and that will be the first step to get you to the gateway for managing your application. As you are going to be having in-app items to sell, you need to request a commercial seller status. For corporate sellers, this means that you need to provide your business license and bank account. I recommend to do this process right away because we need to verify your financial information and your business license, so sometimes it takes a little bit of time just to go through that process, but you have access to the system and you can actually register your application and start with the integration of the SDK. So once you have access to Seller Office, you can register your application. As I mentioned, we require a unique package name or a different signing key, and you can also register the in-app item. The reason we request a different signing key or a different package name is because when you continue to update the application, we want to keep all our users in our own ecosystem. We don't want them to jump to using a different billing system because they downloaded the application from some other different market. We just want to have that ecosystem with us, that they keep their updates with us, they continue visiting our store, and have a clean experience for them. And then once you're ready, well, you test your application and submit for certification. One of our services in Samsung Developer Program is we can help you with compatibility testing for your application. So if you don't have all existing Samsung devices or you are a specific device that you would like to test, well, we can help you with that compatibility testing just to ensure that everything works fine. In addition, when you submit for certification, the Seller Office QA team will validate your application and make sure that there's no issues, and once it's approved, it will go live. And then if you have any questions during the process, please feel free to reach out to us. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, we are here to help. We want to make sure that this is a smooth process for you. If you have any questions, we want to help you, and we want you to be successful in the store. Promotion. So you can submit a promotion request for our editorial team to evaluate your application. As I mentioned before, it's a very manual process. We are very picky about the type of applications we want to have in staff picks, we want to promote. We look into the quality, the brand, the number of downloads, if the experience is being optimized for Samsung devices. So we are happy to review your application. Just send a promotion request and we can start having the conversation, and we provide the feedback from our editorial team once they start evaluating your application. Now, what are the promotion benefits? So as I mentioned, we have in-store banner promotion in staff picks. That usually is 2 weeks, but it can change according to how the application is performing. You also have push notification to Galaxy Apps users for selected applications, and then social media posts, Facebook in our Facebook and Twitter channels. You have exposure in our Samsung developers website, trade show presence in our different events. So it's a good way to get you out there, to give you more and other channels to promote your game or application. From what we have seen with previous partners, basically a promotion typically increases their daily downloads 4 to 5 times. That's just an example, an idea of how the staff picks promotion can help your application. So again, feel free to send your promotion request to us, and we will have the editorial team consider your application and evaluate it for this opportunity. That's basically it. A few next steps that I want to let you know. How to get started. I mean, you can get this presentation in the website, AFP webinar, or Samsung Developers website. As I mentioned earlier, you have access to all these things in the resource widget in your dashboard. And you can review the content there, start checking the links, get started also by registering to Seller Office, getting your seller account, your commercial account ready. And if you run into any issue, again, just reach out to us, and we will be happy to help you. Register to learn more. Well, we have also Samsung Mobile Theme Editor webinar coming up soon. Recommend you to join that one. The mobile theme editors in Android are generating a lot of money. Users want to buy a new phone and customize it right away, so it's a very good market. And if you are interested in wearables, I recommend you start looking into our previous webinar series. We have 4 different webinars there to cover web app development, the overview of Gear S3. We also have watch faces for designers, for developers. So it's also a very, very good opportunity to get started. That's all from my side. Do we have any questions so far? No. So no questions, but that's fine. Again, if you have any issue or question, or you want to know more about what we can do to help you, feel free to reach out to us. Right now, you're going to see a small feedback, and a small survey that we will require your feedback, so please take a minute just to answer it. Okay? Thank you so much for everything. Have a good day.